Greetings, friends, and welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host, Mark Guido, and we've left the heat of the Mojave Desert behind in search of cooler temperatures at higher elevations, and we found that here in the Eastern Sierra. Boondocking with friends right outside of Bishop, California. So come along. Now, with this year's snowpack being so deep all across the western U.S., we fully expected that we would encounter some difficulties, at least earlier in the summer, being squeezed between the heat at low elevations and a remaining snowpack at higher elevations. And that's exactly what we've encountered here in the Eastern Sierra. You have a lot of folks out here right now trying to be crammed into too small an area. And a lot of the spots here, a lot of the forest roads here in the Eastern Sierra are more like Jeep trails. Not really something that I want to pull a fifth wheel down. So we found ourselves, instead of a remote, lonely, all by ourselves boondocking spot, we're here on what appears to have once been a rest area that's been abandoned right along the side of US 395, about 20 miles north of Bishop. We're sharing this spot with our friends on the YouTube channel Eddie at Large, along with our Texan friends Jane and Daryl. It's great to reconnect with friends along the road, and while this loop on land managed by the Inyo National Forest may not offer ideal boondocking, there's plenty of room for all three of our rigs and then some, and the views of the Sierra Nevada mountains are breathtaking. You're allowed to disperse camp for free in the Inyo National Forest for up to 14 consecutive days, and no more than 28 days per calendar year. However, unlike most areas we're accustomed to, the Forest Service and the BLM have both designated huge swaths of public lands off limits to camping. They've even cooperated on an interactive mobile app to help identify legal and illegal locations. Our friends spent 4 full days scouting other potential campsites in the area before our arrival, but this turned out to be the best available option for all of us. We even have proximity to some beautiful walks into the hills right behind our camp for after work. US 395 may be surprisingly close to our campsite, but we can't really say that we've noticed any road noise. We're at an elevation of 6,850 feet along what's known as the Sherwin Grade, where US 395 climbs from 4,500 feet in the Round Valley north of Bishop to 7,000 feet en route to the ski resort town of Mammoth Lakes. That means transition from summer-like highs in the 90s in the valley below to more comfortable springtime temperatures up here. The weather has been ideal the entire week that we've been here. Beautiful sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-70s for highs and lows overnight in the upper 40s. Those are perfect temperatures for sleeping in our RV on our mattress from our video sponsor, RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. Improve your sleep while camping with a new RV mattress from our video sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. They offer 4 different mattress constructions in 21 different sizes, depending on preference and price point. Everything from standard queen to all of those funky, odd RV sizes. Brooklyn Bedding manufactures all of its mattresses right at their factory in Arizona. And RVMattress.com ships them right to your door for free, all rolled up and compressed in a vacuum seal. Just cut the wrap to unroll the mattress onto your bed, then cut the vacuum seal. For our mattress, Brooklyn Bedding starts with a layer of high-density foam for a supported base. Just above the base, an 8-inch core of over 1,000 individually encased coils provides the essential support. Immediately above the coils is a 1-inch layer of memory foam and 2-inch layer of hyper-elastic TitanFlex foam. Finally, at the very top is a 1.5-inch layer of antimicrobial CopperFlex foam with TitanCool, which is designed to maintain an ideal sleep body temperature of 88 degrees. Every Brooklyn Bedding mattress from RVMattress.com comes with both a 10-year warranty and a 120-night sleep trial. For the month of May 2023 only, Grand Adventurers get 32% off their entire purchase, the highest discount available, by visiting RVMattress.com/grandadventure. Our campsite is just east of Crowley Lake, a reservoir on the Upper Owens River, known for its prized trout fishing. It was created in 1941 by the building of the Long Valley Dam by the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, as storage for the Los Angeles Aqueduct and for flood control. Above Crowley Lake, the McGee Creek Road is one of many Forest Service roads that climb into the Eastern Sierra, but one of only a few currently passable thanks to this winter's record-setting snowpack. We're able to reach the McGee Creek campground before a wall of snow blocks further travel. All week, I've been gazing at these couloirs that fall down these slopes like white ribbons, wishing that I hadn't left my ski touring gear back in our storage unit in Utah for the summer. Our camp is about equidistant between the towns of Bishop and Mammoth Lakes, home to Mammoth Mountain Ski Area. The effects of this winter still linger in Mammoth Lakes, where in many neighborhoods, melting snow still reaches or even covers some second-story windows. Mammoth typically remains open for skiing until the snow runs out, which isn't likely to happen this summer until sometime July, or maybe even later. They've set a closing date of August 6th. On the south side of town, the Lakes Basin area remains inaccessible during our mid-May visit, and the plowed portion of Lake Mary Road ends at Twin Lakes. We won't be kayaking here. When we come right back, following a quick ad break, we'll visit some ancient petroglyphs, hike along a geothermal creek, take a dip in some hot springs, and kayak the uniquely named Convict Lake. So stay tuned. Darrow and Jane are following us up the unpaved Fish Slough Road through the far northern portion of the Owens Valley to visit the Shadago Canyon petroglyphs in the volcanic tablelands north of Bishop. There are dozens of petroglyph sites out here, believed to be between 1,000 and 8,000 years old, and created by ancestors of the Paiute and Shoshone people.
Where's my Huckleberry Shake at the end of this 9-mile road?
The unique geologic features of the volcanic tablelands formed by the cataclysmic volcanic eruption of the Long Valley caldera 750,000 years ago left a highly dissected landscape of Bishop Tuff. Remember Twin Lakes from just before the ad break? Their waters spill into Mammoth Creek, which en route to the Owens Valley is renamed Hot Creek in this area of geothermal activity. Visiting the Hot Creek Gorge is not without its dangers, as the locations, discharge rates, and temperatures of the springs often change quickly and dramatically. 14 people have been killed or severely burned here since the 1960s, and warning signs abound. The hydrothermal system in the Long Valley caldera is recharged primarily from snowmelt in the highlands. The meltwater infiltrates to depths of a few miles, where some is heated to at least 430 degrees by hot rock near the Inyo craters. The heated water rises along steeply inclined fractures, then flows eastward through rock layers to hydrothermal surface vent discharge points along Hot Creek and around Crowley Lake. Since May 2006, springs have been geysering very hot, sediment-laden water as high as 6 feet above the stream surface. The geysering usually lasts a few seconds and occurs at irregular intervals, with several minutes between eruptions. Just upstream of the hot springs, Hot Creek is a prized catch and release fishery for wild brown trout. Hot Creek Gorge was a filming location for the 1969 film True Grit, as well as the 1960 film North to Alaska, both starring John Wayne, as well as the 1966 Steve McQueen film Nevada Smith and the 1971 film Shootout with Gregory Peck. While swimming is forbidden at Hot Creek due to the unpredictable dangers, other hot springs are available nearby for soaking. There are no fewer than 6 different hot springs off Benton Crossing Road that you can drive and walk to, including Wild Willie's. These hot springs are on public land, non-commercial, and unmarked. Google Maps, however, will lead you in the right direction. Everyone at Wild Willie's today is polite and talkative. Some students from UC San Diego, a couple of air traffic controllers from the LA Basin, and more. It's an incredibly relaxing stop that we're enjoying immensely. Following a quick ad break to pay the bills, we're going to bring you to one of the most spectacular spots we're visiting here, Convict Lake, for a little Saturday morning kayaking. So stay tuned. I've been carting this boat around atop the truck for 3 weeks now, so it's time to get out on the water, especially when a gorgeous spot like Convict Lake is right up the road. Convict Lake was carved out by glaciers at an elevation of 7,850 feet. At approximately 140 feet deep in various places, it's one of the deepest lakes in the Sierra Nevada mountains. It's set in a box canyon bounded on the southeast side by 12,241-foot Mount Morrison, the tallest mountain in the area. Convict Lake gets its name from an incident in 1871 in which a group of 29 convicts, including murderers, horse thieves, and train robbers, escaped from the Nevada State Prison in Carson City. After splitting into two groups, the one led by convicted murderer Charlie Jones, who had previously lived in Mono and Inyo counties, took refuge near the lake. After killing a mail carrier who had happened upon their camp, locals became outraged and formed a posse of their own. A shootout followed, killing or wounding a number of both posse members and convicts. The remaining convicts who survived initially escaped but were eventually captured in Round Valley, below our campsite. On their way back to prison, they were instead lynched. Mount Morrison is named for Robert Morrison, a Wells Fargo agent killed in the shootout at the lake. There are numerous fishermen both in boats and on the shoreline, pursuing the lake's rainbow trout, stocked weekly by local hatcheries. Large German brown trout may also be found here. So we truly hope that you've enjoyed visiting this area of the Eastern Sierra between Bishop and Mammoth, California with us. If you like this episode, it is extremely important to us that you give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, that's where you'll find the comments section, where we'd love to hear from you after each grand adventure, which we air every Wednesday evening. So if you're not yet a grand adventurer yourself, now is the perfect time for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a grand adventure. Finally, we would be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. So until next Wednesday, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.